In this box, I have some goodies for the VXR. We are going to be doing a full LED conversion of the headlights, rear lights, and interior lights. New bulbs are in here. I've got second-hand bulbs in here as well from previous cars, and we're going to upgrade the whole thing. So let's fit all the LEDs to the VXR. Hopefully we don't have any Canbus errors and things like that, but I do have some resistors just in case. So let's get cracking. First of all, we're going to start with the headlights. Let's go. So then, in my box of goodies, we have the main dip beam and headlight bulbs by Auto Beams. These are HIR2s. Then we have some W21 5Ws for the DRLs. These are by Osram. I've had these for ages and they work pretty well. Then we need to do the indicators, which are PY21Ws. These are also by Auto Beams, and these are second-hand as well, but they've worked for ages. So let's do a little before and after. So let's have a look at the lights before. Let me go turn them on. Ugh, horrible and yellow. Nice. We love yellow lights. Oh, we should probably do the indicators as well, actually. Nice and orange, and they flash really slowly. Let's get these changed out. Let's first start by doing the DRLs. There is one out. Let's take that one out of there. Lock that back up. Next side. There we go. Just need to remember it goes in that way. Right, let's try these first. Let's do the indicators next. Take that off there. So they simply just twist. There we go. Take them out. And the new one's going in. Let's see if that works now. There we go. That's bright. Moment of truth. Here we go. Woohoo! Let's see if we've got any errors on the dash. If I indicate and it starts going really, really fast, we know we've got a problem. Oh! Good news! Seem to be working. No errors. Look at that, modern already. LED daytime running lights, LED indicators. Not bad at all. Now then, so that's the indicators and DRLs done. Let's get on to the hardest part and do the main headlights now. First thing, we're going to need to take off this washer fluid neck, I think. Hopefully it's not up to the top. Nope, that was easy. Oh. And it's just a case of untwist. So we're going to have to test these when we plug them before I put them in. Once again, they are polarised. Because of the nature of these bulbs, you have to put the bulb ring in first, otherwise you cannot get the bulb in place. It just doesn't spin the ring. So now the bulb is in and the driver is just tucked around there. That was a fiddly job. Let's go give this one a test. Okay, so it is working, which is good. We probably may need to spin it round though, but I think that's the best way they're supposed to be. Let's put the cap back on. Wonderful. Push the cap back on. Start it up and hopefully we don't get any dip to beam errors. So now that one's in. We're going to go to the driver's side now. The driver's side was a little bit harder. I had to remove the MAF sensor, the air cleaner and the base, and then I could get to the bulb. It's a very, very fiddly job this, and if you lose it, you're in for it. You twist with your finger not to get it stuck. Luckily I have small fingers, so we'll connect this up and that way around. Slide that in there. So let's get everything back together, put the airbox cleaner back in. Just like that, we're all back together. Let's go turn the lights on and see how it looks. As you can see, they're now bright white. Later on in the video, I'll be going out for a drive and showing you how they look at night. I've got some side repeater modules here, which I brought from Auto Beams. These come from one of my old cars. So let's fit these and we'll see how these look. These are directional flashing indicators. These ones I had from one of my previous cars. They did fit, but they just didn't look right and they didn't flash the right way, so I changed my mind. Okay, so a small change of plan with these. I'm going to install the original ones. I have some orange LEDs, which will make it look OEM still, but more modern. Now I actually forgot to press record on the camera, but you just slide them towards the door and they just pop out. So now let's move on to doing the interior bulbs. These are the Osram W5W 6000 Kelvin white LED bulbs. You're going to need 3 packets of these. There's 3 bulbs in the front light, 2 in the rear and 1 in the glove box. Starting with the rear lamp, it's quite easy to remove. Get a plastic pry tool, push the 2 metal springs in and pull down. There is another way of doing it by taking the bulb cover off, but this way just seemed easier. It's probably easier to take the whole lamp out instead of like trying to pry off the cover. You pop the cover off, just like so. That then comes off. If you wiggle it out, new one going in there. Make sure it works, give it a test. Voila, they work. Now that is a considerably good upgrade. Let's do the front now. Can't wait to see these at night. They'll be nice and bright. In goes one. That works, and that one works. Glove box. I already disconnected this to double check which one it was. So you just pop that down and then unclip that from that, and we slide the bulb in there and that way around, I think. Bosh, it is on. There we go. And then slide that back into there. That's a glove box light done. So let's get this one changed out here for a brand new LED module. This LED module was nice and cheap, got it off eBay. You can pull this down without any tools, disconnect the connector, plug the new one in, job done. Nice and easy. Bright boot light. Right, the car's inside now as it decided to rain as per usual. The last bulbs to the interior I've got to fit are the Vanity mirror bulbs. So these light up when you open the flap. 6615F. Weird. So these are in the mirrors. These like very yellow bulbs. So there's a screwdriver in here and then you just pop that in there and then you pop it out. Oh, there goes one. Where did that go? Do this with one hand while holding the camera. It's gonna like ping out in my face. And oh no, it's all good. Don't expect these to be brilliant. They're only a couple of quid off Amazon. So yeah, let's put these in, see how bright they are. They're gonna be brighter, 100%, but I don't know how long they're gonna last though. And let's go. Way! Look at that. Get that nice and straight in there. Then we get the cover on and then pop shut. It's a bit of a difference, isn't it? White, orangey yellow. Let's crack on with the rest of the other 3 to do. They're blinding me, they're that bright. Transformation on the old head cam. From that to that. Done. So now let's do the rear lights. So we're going to start with the left hand side first and we're going to do the reverse bulb. The reverse bulb is something I've had from my previous car, so that's not brand new. But in this box here is some more goodies. This is the reverse bulb. This is the W16W white LED from Auto Beams, as you can see on there. So I had to buy 2 of these, but I need 1. So this is for the rear fog light. Now you may think it's white, but because it's going in a red lamp, it should be okay. These are high resistance LED indicator units. Hopefully no errors come up on those. Then we have the registration plate lights. Once again, hopefully no errors on those as well. Let's get them installed to the VXR. So start by pulling off this cover. I think this might be a little bit broken. Yep, it is. So basically that pops out and there's a clip on there. I think it's snapped. Then we'll be taking off these grommets here and there's a screw just up in there we can take off. So once the bolts are out, we need to take off the lamp like so. Let's take that out of there, that out of there. You don't have to do this, but because I'm going to clean behind there, I'm just going to unclip this and then we'll put it back in afterwards. Now then we grab our W16W and twist that from there, a bit tight, unplug that, pop that in there, and then slide that back in there and twist, and we'll slide that back on there. connect that back up. Grab the key, ignition on, slip it in reverse. Hopefully, should have a nice bright white light. Oh yes, much better than the yellow candle. So now we can screw that back in. Reverse light done. Now, same again to the other side for the fog light.
Remove the cover, remove the 2 bungs, remove the 3 8mm bolts, pull the lamp from the tailgate, give the area a quick clean, and back to the installation of the bulb.
Unclip that. So that comes out. Is it a squeeze? Don't want to break it. Ah, a squeeze and pull out. So that in there like that. And that then clips in place. So that one snaps in there. And that one in there. And that connector will only go on one way. And then like that. Let's slide that connector back on there. Fog light bulb all in. Let's go give it a test. It's like a really, really bright red. Bit difficult to pick it up on camera, but that is one bright fog light bulb. Let's get that put all back together. Next up, the indicators. Little flap here. There is like 2 thumb screws, one just there and one just at the very top. So we need to undo those ones now. Weird looking thing, but that's what it is. There's 2 of them. And there's the other one. I believe they just slide out like that. There we go. Let's disconnect the light. And then we'll clean up behind here as well because it's pretty grim.
With the rear quarter lamp housing all clean, we can get back to fitting the bulb.
Now then, as these are VXR tail lamps, you only have 1 bulb in this. These are already LED, so these obviously can't be replaced. So we need to be here. We need to untwist. There we go. Nice little anti-clockwise motion. So you need a flathead screwdriver just underneath here. Slide that forward, then you can access the lamp. There we go. That comes out. Pop that off. Pull that out. Pop that in there just like so. Let's test it just in case. Oh hey, that works. Slide the indicator bulb in. Connector back on there. That back in. Mounting holes. Douche and douche. There we go. With a key, let's see the difference. Unlock. Wow, that's bright. Look at the difference. There's that one. And that one. That's crazy. Wow, it's actually burning my retinas. Let's tighten it back up. Other side. There's a lot of wire in here from the rear parking sensors. Definitely need to tidy that up at some point. 1, 2. Light off. Lamp out. And done. Right, let's test these. Hazards, way better. And finally, let's sort out these horrible reg lights. Auto beams, LED modules with the resistors to hopefully decode the Canbus so we don't get any error lights on the dash or error notices on the dashboard. Here we go. A little plastic pry tool just in there, and then if by magic, should just slide out, but they can be quite tricky. We're out. So this is the lamp. Right here you have a little resistor to stop the errors. So basically you plug that in there like so, and that just tucks in the bumper. Here is the lamp. Untwist that. You don't need this anymore. Take the bulb out, pop that back on there. Now then, this whole module connects into this, just like that. Sometimes I put a bit of tape around this just to stop it sort of getting to the elements, to the water and the salt. Should probably tape that up actually.
Whilst I'm putting electrical tape around the wires to keep it neat, now is a good time to subscribe to this channel, as this is what gives me the motivation to provide tutorials and fun videos for you guys to watch. If this video has been helpful for you so far, or you found it interesting, drop it a like. It means a lot. Thanks guys.
Pop that up in there. Test to make sure it comes on. I think you open the boot, it should just come on. There we go. Up there and in there. Now that is a massive difference. White, yellow. Let's do the other side. Yep, that works. Number plate lamps installed. Now those are pretty bright. So with this LED conversion on the headlights, we do get an error which comes up. Because they're LED, don't know if you can see, but I get check right dipped beam lamp and check left dipped beam lamp. Because the LEDs on the front a different resistance to normal halogen bulbs, we have to get a Canbus unit. Now that has finally turned up, so we're going to fit that now. I have brought some extra special caps, so I don't want to be drilling into the genuine ones which are on the car now. These are just some aftermarket ones which are in fact have the same part number for less money. I'm going to mark them out. We've got to put a grommet in there so the wires can pass through, because these don't fit in the lamp unfortunately because they're a little bit too big. It's similar to like an xenon in a car, but these are just a ballast for an LED. So I'm going to drill the caps now and then we'll slide the cables through with a grommet. So one extra cap, a grommet, which also has like a split in it so you can slide these cables through. Now I've already marked these up off camera. This is a 24mm grommet. I'm going to drill it to 20mm first, just to make sure it's nice and tight. Failing that, it'll go to 22mm, then it will fit in snug. So with the hole now drilled, we can put the grommet snug inside there to seal it off. Now, let's do the last one. There we go, hole's just big enough to get the grommet in and just big enough to get these through. They are a tight squeeze, obviously the smaller this hole the better. I've put the rubber grommet on there and then we just literally pop that together on there like that. That is one LED Canbus adapter made, ready to go in the VXR. Let's go get them fitted now and hopefully, fingers crossed, them error messages go off the dash. Now I'm going to do that off camera because there's not a lot of space here. Then once they're in, I'll show you. On the passenger side, the box is just here, tucked nice and neat up against the lamp body there, and exactly the same on this side, which you can see the module cable tied down and going into the back of the lamp. Let's see if it's taken all the error messages off the dash. Oh, it didn't work. I didn't get to show you guys what the bulbs look like outside, only in the garage. So let's go have a quick walk around now and I'll show you what all the bulbs look like when you're actually outside, not just in my garage. It's in a quiet area. There we go. Headlights are on. Nice and white. None of that yellow business anymore. Look at the beam. Don't know how well you can pick this up on camera. Yeah, it's nice and bright. Let's put you in high beam mode. Definitely lights up all the tree and stuff. Once again, don't know how much you can see on camera. I'll show you the hazards. Nice and bright. And we'll go to the back. Yeah, they're really bright. They're like in your face, sort of blinding you type thing. Yeah, they're really, really good. And the reg lights as well, lighting up the floor. Try the fog. Yeah, that fog light is really prominent. And then reverse, obviously I've got to turn it off. There we go, fog and reverse on. So that is a pure bright white light. Really modern now, looks so much better. Oh, and inside as well, like it's so bright in here, I can actually see what I'm doing. Let me turn these on as well, even more brightness, there we go. It's just like broad daylight in here now. Let me go to a dark road and I'll show you what the lights are like in high beam mode as well, because they're fantastic. So let's put my head cam on and we'll go for a quick drive. So yeah, here we go, into the dark, dark road. You get to see how bright these headlights really are. It's pretty dark down here. Now let's switch on to full beams, ready? Bang, look at that, the trees are lit up, I can see well ahead of me. I'm not sure how much the camera will pick this up, but a sensational upgrade compared to halogen. This is ridiculous. I can actually see a lot further now. Let's turn them off. Yeah, look, I've lost so much visibility, and I'm on. Bam, look at that. What an upgrade, 100% recommend doing this. And that is a full LED conversion, all done. Obviously we have the problem at the minute with the notification of the Canbus error on the headlights, It is what it is. What I'll try and do is see if I can actually speak to someone to disable that message every time it comes up. It seems to be intermittent. It doesn't come up all the time. It comes up every now and again. So I'm going to get that message disabled and turned off, and I think I'm just going to have to just accept that. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.